Hi, this is Ashley Swartz, founder and CEO of Furious Minds. I'm here for Beat TV in Cologne at Mexico, and I am blessed with the presence of my dear friend Jeff Siegel from Rovi. He has some pretty exciting things going on that we're going to talk to you about today. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. So I heard you guys had some pretty great announcements here today. Could you give us a little bit of insight on them?
Yeah, I would say we have two big ones. We've done now field trials all over the world, and now we're launching it in Germany. So we're excited. The show happens to coincide with us launching Samsung, Panasonic, and Toshiba, the ad units here in Germany.
That's super exciting. Could you tell us a little bit in more detail about the actual ad experience that you're delivering and testing in the field?
Sure. So it's similar to what we've got worldwide. That is, we have a number today of display ad units that live around apps, that live around content search and discovery. And those apps have pretty rich functionality. They'll take you to microsites, video, pre-roll, all kinds of cool stuff. So we've got within the infrastructure is probably 23 different ad units that lead to richer experiences.
And the connect rates that I've sort of heard buzzing about in Europe are pretty impressive. Do you have any data points or insight about sort of who's connecting and what percentage of TVs are actually activated?
Yeah, I would say compared to the States, it's actually much higher. So in the States, we see 25 to 30%, and that connectivity is growing. In Germany and the west part of Europe in general, we're seeing connectivity rates 67 to 68%, which is driven primarily because of gaming consoles and the content available on the connected devices here.
So just sort of going forward, do you have any lessons learned or any insights from previous trials that you're looking at, these sort of expectations of what you think will be exceptional or different in Europe? Where do you think the major deltas are going to be in what we've seen in the markets like the US that is sort of large and homogenous in many respects, whereas when you go to pan-Europe, it is different nation by nation?
Yeah, we've done research in two big buckets. One is how do people use these connected devices, and the other is how do people use advertising with these connected devices. So people use the devices primarily, we thought originally it was just going to be video content, but we're finding that they go there for music, they go there for films, they go there for TV shows. They're using a lot of different applications in the device itself. In the advertising, we're happy to report that people recognize that there are ads there. They recognize they can click on them, so we're encouraged by that. And they click through them frequently, and they spend a lot of time when they're in the units themselves. So the engagement rates and click-through rates are much higher than the internet.
And do you think in this field test, I've talked to a few folks today, we've been talking about sort of how every market is distinct, right? We're in Germany, you're launching here in Germany. Are you going to end up doing a pan-European field test as well, or do you think you're actually going to parse it out market by market?
We do country by country, in market language. That's the critical thing for us from an advertising standpoint, and also to learn what consumers are doing in market. So we've done one now in London, we're doing Spain, Italy, France, and now we're doing Germany. Do
you have any advertisers that are on board for all of those markets sort of in totality, or do you see that in each market you have a different level of receptivity based on the local market office of a brand and whether or not they're interested in pursuing connected TV?
There are very few brands who buy worldwide, and there are very few brands who buy pan-Europe deals. So a lot of them are testing in market themselves. So we've done deals with Lego and Mini Cooper. You can see some other autos that will come on board here pretty quickly. But we haven't done any pan-Europe deals yet, but stay tuned.
Do you have any... Okay, I caught that, just so you know. Do you have any thoughts or insights? Just, I mean, if you sort of sitting in the U.S., but, you know, leading a global business, do you have any specific observations or thoughts or reflections on what is distinct or unique about Germany in particular as a market, given that we're here in Cologne, just to consider for a brand that may be plurality in spending in U.S. right now, looking to expand? Germany's a big market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, what we see in Germany, like other countries, is that big markets, the kind of populous markets, are taking connected TVs and connected devices and using them frequently. It's high income, high educated, tends to be younger people, affluent in general, highly educated, which is consistent. What makes Western Europe different, what makes Germany different specifically, I think, is the availability of free content that's out there. That the connectivity market of movies is still developing here in Germany. That's starting to move quickly, and they're starting to adopt what's happened in the rest of the world. So you'll see more movie services come on board, and as that happens, people want to get that content through an IP-delivered service.
Right, and given that Rovi's powering a lot of that stuff, you guys have some great insight to say that it's coming on board.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd love to end with just if you have any thoughts, predictions. I mean, if you look at globally this space in general, what do you see in the next 12, 24 months that you would sort of put your money on today if you had to?
Well, initially I was concerned with the amount of impressions on connected devices. I'm encouraged to say that since the beginning of the year, worldwide, we've seen an increase in impressions between 30 to 40%, and we see that growing quickly. So we're seeing more impressions, we're seeing more people come back on a regular basis, and we're seeing more people connect their sets on a more frequent basis. So I'm encouraged by that. I think the CE manufacturers are not historically known for developing infrastructures and interfaces. I think they've gotten much better, which makes the advertising much better, because consumers are going back more frequently. So I think the better they get at that, the better we can help power that, the more people will go and watch the ads.
How long do you think is the lifeline to maintain and retain premium CPMs in this space, given that right now, it's emerging, it's nascent, there's still it hasn't reached critical mass, that tipping point yet? What long of a runway do you think we have?
Well, I think it depends which model we go with. Rovi takes a much different approach than others. There are ad networks who are saying, we've done this on the web, and we've just kind of populated a lot of pre-roll video, and we've commoditized CPMs across the marketplace. And they're trying to lump connected TVs into digital video. We're saying this is television, this is a different medium. People use it differently, they interact with it differently, the ads are different. So we want to maintain high CPMs, high value, because you're delivering very valuable impressions, high engaged consumers. You've got affluent consumers right now. If we take internet models and metrics and just throw those onto the TV, I think we all lose. So I think it's incumbent on all of us in the industry to make sure that the medium is held to a higher standard than others.
Thanks, Jeff, and congratulations. I'm excited. I'm glad to see you here in Germany.
Yeah, likewise.